For the 2024-2025 season, the CSSHL has partnered with MyHockey Rankings to create the official standings for the championships and all ranked showcase events. Only CSSHL league games are used to calculate these standings. The rankings are calculated using a team's results within a game as well as the strength of schedule. With that in mind, here are your updated rankings heading into Christmas and the last rankings of 2024. In the Eastern U17 division, Stansted College remains on top with a 13-1-0 record. With just one game in the division this past weekend, there was no movement between any of the teams. Cooper Academy remains in second, Bishop's College School third, Sulenhouse School fourth, and Lower Canada College rounds out the top five. In the Eastern U18 division, much like the U17, there was just two games this weekend leading to no movement. Bishop's College School remains on top with an 11-1-0 record. Bishop's College School has controlled the division for the majority of the season with a points percentage of 86%. The next closest team is Bourget College, who has just a 74% point percentage. Despite a record of just 3 wins and 3 losses, Stansted College is second in the rankings, just ahead of Bourget College. Joining them in the top 5 is Ulysse Academy and Ontario Hockey Academy. Another division with no movement in the rankings compared to last week is the female U18 prep division. Despite suffering their first loss of the season and now holding a record of 19 wins and 1 loss, RHA Kelowna sits atop the division. Handing RHA Kelowna their first loss of the season, Delta Green sits second. The BC division occupies 4 of the top 5 spots, with Shawnigan Lake School sitting 3rd and Okanagan Hockey Academy sitting 4th. Edge School out of Calgary, Alberta holds the final spot in the top 5. In the U15 division, Edge School remains in first in the division with a record of 18 wins and 1 loss. The 2nd and 3rd ranked teams in Calgary International Hockey Academy and NAX both met this weekend, with the number 2 seed CIHA coming ahead with a victory. With the top 3 spots being occupied by teams in Alberta, the 4th and 5th spots belong to teams in BC, as Yale Hockey Academy holds the 4th seed and Delta Black holds the 5th spot. In the U15 prep division, the majority of the top teams from the CSSHL competed at the Canadian Crown this weekend, with minimal league games. Despite these tournament games not counting towards the MyHockey rankings, Delta Hockey Academy solidified their spot as the number 2 seed, winning the Canadian Crown Championship over Bishop's Kearney School this weekend. The lone team ahead of Delta Hockey Academy in the MyHockey rankings, occupying the number 1 seed, is the Northern Alberta Extreme, who continue to be undefeated in league play with a 19-0 record. St. George's School occupies the 3rd seed, with OHA Edmonton 4th and Edge School 5th. The only movement in the division for these rankings was Pacific Coast Hockey Academy moving up to the 14 seed and Notre Dame moving down to the 15 slot. Having already played 31 of their 36 regular season games, RHA Kelowna leads the U17 division with a 29-2 record. Second in the MyHockey rankings is a team just down the road in Okanagan Hockey Academy. The 3rd spot belongs to OHA Edmonton, with a 4th seed belonging to Edge School, and the 5th ranked team being Prairie Hockey Academy. There was a good amount of movement in the rankings this weekend, with RHA Winnipeg moving up to the 6th spot and NAX moving up to the 8th seed. Pacific Coast Hockey Academy, the North Shore Warriors, and Delta Hockey Academy all dropped in this week's rankings. With a record of 21 wins and 3 losses, RHA Kelowna sits atop the U17 prep division, giving them a clean sweep of both U17 and U17 prep. Like the U17 division, Okanagan Hockey Academy sits 2nd in the U17 prep. Delta Hockey Academy sits 3rd, with OHA Edmonton moving into the 4th spot and Pacific Coast Hockey Academy moving down to the 5. The only other movement in the division saw Shawnigan Lake move up to 18th and Coeur d'Alene Hockey Academy move down to 19th. With a division-wide showcase in Abbotsford, BC, there was lots of movement in the U18 prep division after this weekend. The one thing that stays the same though is the Northern Alberta Extreme sit atop the division with a 16-1-2 record. Despite 2 shootout losses this weekend, Edge School remains in 2nd, while Okanagan Hockey Academy remains in 3rd. With a shootout win over NAX on the final day of the showcase, Pacific Coast Hockey Academy has moved themselves into the 4th spot. St. George's, with a shootout win of their own on Sunday over Edge, has moved into the final spot in the top 5. Calgary International Hockey Academy and Yale Hockey Academy have both moved up, going into the 7 and 8 seeds. Joining them and trending upwards is the North Shore Warriors, who moves into the 12th spot, RHA Kelowna moves into the 13th seed, and Notre Dame, who moves up into 20th. Heading in the opposite direction is BWC Academy, who drops to 6th, Prairie Hockey Academy, who falls to 9th, South Alberta Hockey Academy, who falls to 10th, Shawnigan Lake School, who now sits 11th, OHA Edmonton, who falls to 14th, and Indigenous Sports Academy, who falls to 21st. With just a few games left before the Christmas break, that concludes the final rankings for the 2024 portion of the season. The first rankings of 2025 will come out Wednesday, January 8th. In the meantime, the CSSHL would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, and we'll see you all in the new year.